So when we exude beauty, it's actually showing a part of who God is.
Holy hair, let's go, let's hit, let's go. Holy hair, let's go.
So this is my last client of the day. This is my beautiful client, Angie. So today we are going to go through, and we did balayage last time on her. So as you can see, she does have a little bit of a money piece in the front, and then we just have some scattered highlights as well as some balayage to kind of break up her very dark natural color. We are going to be putting in extensions today, so this is her hair. I'm going to re-tape it while she's processing, and so we can put it back in. Really, we don't do a whole lot of length with the extensions on her hair. It's really just for fullness, and also too with extensions, it just makes your style last longer, like curls last longer in your hair. It just, like, you feel good when you have extensions, and let's be real. I'm like obsessed. I love extensions. So what I'm going to go through and do is we're just going to, because she has some sparkles that come in. They're scattered and it's not super sparkly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend that with some Babylights, kind of just all over, to give her a lifted root look, so that she doesn't look like she has any kind of stripy highlight. She's not gonna have a drastic grow out or anything. We're just gonna do a very fine Babylight all over, and we're gonna keep this tone that we have going. So I will let you guys know her formula and everything like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix up her lightener, and we'll get started.
This is the 1K bouquet.
The 1K, aww, thank you.
That's so pretty.
So cute. Hubby stopped by.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
To bring me flowers. He's a sweetheart.
my favorite YouTube channel, Holy Hair.
Right?
Yeah, I just hit 1,000.
No way.
Yeah. Thank you. You're so cute. Okay, so Angie is processing. She's got all of her foils going on, and I've got her hair all retaped and ready to go for when she finishes processing. So after her highlights, I am going to rinse her and then do a overall toner to match the color of her extensions. And then after that, we'll shampoo her, give her a nice clarifying shampoo, get her all ready to put extensions in. When you do extensions, you don't want to have any conditioner in or any product. So we're just gonna do a nice clarifying shampoo, blow dry, put in her extensions, and she'll be good to go. Alright, so I've rinsed her highlights out. I have her glaze on. For her formula, I used Redken Shade ZQ 7NB. I used about 15 grams of that, and then I used 8N I used 25 grams of 7NB and 15 grams of 8N. Redken Shade ZQ, and then equal parts processing solution for her glaze. She's just going to process for 25 minutes, and then we're going to rinse her.
Exactly. Beauty can become an idol. Vanity can become an idol. But really, what it's about is finding that balance. It's something that enhances what you feel in the inside. And I think honestly, I feel like so much of the stigma with beauty is the fact that, a lot of times I think we look at beautiful things or people, and it feels very worldly. Yeah. But I think that beauty is something that God has created within us, especially as women. Yeah. It's actually a part of who we are, because God is beautiful. He gave us part of his nature when he created us. We were created in his image. So when we exude beauty, it's actually showing a part of who God is. Instead of it being like this thing of, if you look glamorous, then you're just this posh person who's only cares about themselves and who's stuck up. And can that happen? Absolutely. But I think that the truth is that beauty is actually something that God created, because it does draw. it does draw people to him.
Yeah.
And if people are drawn to us because of the beauty that we have, from the inside to the outside, it literally does draw people to Christ, you know?
It does. And I think that there's a light that shines through when there is that beauty. Like it's almost like that, you know, glow about someone that draws people towards them. And you're like, and you can't pinpoint it, but it's almost like you with the extensions. Like you feel, you know, like we were just talking, we're having a really good conversation about, you know, just beauty and how there is such a stigma against, like, you know, beauty being vain or, you know, in a negative way. There's a lot of negative things out there about beauty. And, you know, she was talking about how, and she discovered, because she had taken the extensions out for a while, and, you know, because she was going to be at home and not seeing a lot of people, and she kind of discovered that the extensions were for her and not other people. And I think that that's something that we shouldn't feel ashamed about. That, you know, if there's something that makes us feel better and makes our inner beauty shine outward, I think that there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like it helps me put my best face forward, and it's like I'm not worrying about, like when I'm around people or when I'm doing something, I'm not sitting there going, oh, I hope my hair looks so, you know, like I'm not, it's not in my back of my mind. It's there's a confidence, because I'm like, okay, I know that this is what makes me feel good. And it literally was, I was like, oh, I don't want to spend money on that because people aren't going to see it. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is weird, because I'm at home and I don't feel good about, like, I mean, I'm not that I don't feel good about myself, but I mean, I was just like, I'm constantly worried about, like, should I put my hair up in a ponytail? Oh no, let me go out. And I found myself doing my hair more than I would if I had extensions. And I was like, it's weird, because in the world's eyes, like, oh man, getting extensions, it's just for show, and it's just to present yourself in a way. And I'm like, actually, for me, it's not. It's just, to me, it's almost like, oh, it's making me more confident in the sense of, this is like, it's easier for me. It's like, instead of having to like worry about it, I can just be me and not even think twice. But I do think that it can be tricky as believers, because there are so many, there is this sense of, oh, well, if you're a believer, that shouldn't be the most important thing. And I would agree with that. It shouldn't be the most important thing. My character and my identity isn't in if I have extensions or not. It's not
your identity.
It's not your identity. No. But I think that, you know, you can have a strong identity and still be like, you know what? I want to make sure that I'm putting myself, I'm presenting myself in a positive way.
Exactly.
And that I feel good about what I'm presenting.
Well, and it's like makeup too. I think that as women, like, we totally, like me with concealer, I didn't used to wear concealer. And I don't wear a ton of makeup anyways. But I have really bad dark circles underneath my eyes. I've tried every eye cream under the sun. I think it is just my Italian genes.
Genetics.
Genetics.
Different things. Genetics.
And so I started wearing concealer, and I literally had so many clients ask me, like, what did you do differently? You have a glow about you. You just look, and I'm like, just taking that extra couple minutes to throw a little concealer on, I do feel like better. I feel like more awake, you know, looking more awake. I feel more awake. It's crazy how that happens, and how our image on the outside can truly affect how we feel on the inside, and that we don't have to feel guilty about that.
No, 100%. I just think that sometimes within the church or within religion, really it's religion, it's not really God, but within religion, we can kind of look at something and be like, this is a negative, you know, or this is something that if you're here or if you're doing this, then this is where your heart is. And I think that that's where it's not good. It's not good to do that. And I think that, you know,
it can be unhealthy.
It can be unhealthy. Absolutely. And I think there's sometimes, you know, there actually are studies, because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier when we were created body, mind, and spirit. So our body is the visible physical part of who God made us to be. And again, this is not to say that if you struggle with your weight or if you're acne prone or whatever. I mean, we all have our issues.
Totally.
But it's being able to say that, if someone chooses to say, hey, I'm gonna wear makeup, or I'm gonna spend some more money on this type of thing, that it doesn't make you not a strong believer, or it doesn't make you don't automatically have to be thrown into this category of, oh, you're this vain, or a lot of times for women, that's the kind of woman you are. You're not a natural beauty. It's like, that's
or
not
you're
really
fake, or
exactly, that you're fake,
or insecure, or like it doesn't mean that you're put into a category. I think that a lot of it is kind of like finding what works for you.
Yes.
And what works for everyone is something different.
100%.
And we all struggle with different things. We all struggle with, who we are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that everyone struggles with identity. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's been a process of just weeding out things that I know don't work for me. Mm-hmm. And then the things that do work start to shine through, and then you attach to those things. Yeah. The Lord wants us to feel joy, and He ultimately wants us to be happy. Like, God is love, and He's joy, and He gives you grace and mercy. And I think that that's the thing, that we don't need to feel guilty for feeling those feelings.
Yeah.
And it's the enemy that twists those things in our head to make us feel like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way because I'm gonna take that right away from you. And that's the battle that I think we all face on a daily basis.
Yes. I was doing a Bible study. We did emotionally healthy spirituality, and one of the really interesting points was it was talking about how in an unhealthy emotional spirituality is basically like you can look at things like pleasure. We equate that to being ungodly. But God actually, God said this is good. He looked at something and was like, I'm pleased with that, But it's like we have sort of kind of twisted it, and then okay, if something is pleasurable, then it must be bad, or must be sinful, or guilty.
For doing it.
We would say guilty pleasures, this is my guilty pleasure, and it's chocolate. Come on. We know God created chocolate. But what I'm saying? We've twisted it to say that this is not of God, and it's like, wait a second, God is the one who designed pleasure, things to be fun. He wants us to have lives that are filled with joy, because that is who He is, So I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. Aww.
Yeah,
Your hair looks beautiful.
I love it.
What do you guys think of her color? So we did this, these baby lights up top to just give her a really natural grow out, and just a natural sun-kissed, blend all those dark roots and blend any gray that might shine through. And then we did her extensions, and it just looks so full, and the color blends perfectly, and I just love it so much.
And now I feel like Wonder Woman.
You got the power.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And I love
much.
it with that pink too.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, so I just finished. I'm just doing a little bit of cleaning at the end of my day. I just put my towels in the dryer, and I'm just sanitizing everything. So it's been 8 hours. So it's a full 8-hour day. I did not have a break. I had one little granola bar, and I've had 2 cups of coffee and a ton of water. I'm telling you, being a hairstylist, drinking a ton of water does help any kind of hunger pains, but it's hard to get a break in this business. It was definitely a long day, and I will say, coming back to work after being off for 2 months, my back is killing me. It hurts so bad. It's just a physical job. You're on your feet all day long, you're holding your arms up, shampooing and blow drying, and it's just a very repetitive physical job. And I do have tendinitis in my hands. I don't know if you can see how swollen that is, in this area. But I have tendinitis and a little bit of carpal tunnel that I get worked on when I get acupuncture, but that's just from repetitive motion of cutting. And so, that's definitely flared up. I ice it every night when I get home. So when I get home, I'm gonna ice my hand and put my feet up the wall. I do legs up the wall to just like get the blood flow to come back down. And I also put on some CBD cream all over my entire body. It really, truly does help. Just as a pain reliever. I typically don't take any kind of like Advil or ibuprofen unless I absolutely need it, but I try to do everything holistically and naturally. So, so yeah, that's kind of what I do when I get home after a long day at work. I was talking with my last client and I clipped in, you know, parts of our conversation. I've been thinking about doing like almost like a podcast, but it'll be like a hair appointment. So I have a lot of really interesting clients that we have like such good conversations when they're in the salon. And I just would love to get those conversations like in a podcast type form, but in a video. So it's like I'll be doing their hair and we'll be having a conversation while I'm doing their hair, but it's almost kind of like a podcast. So let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in me doing videos like that. And also let me know what kind of topics you'd like for me to talk about. Typically with my clients, we talk about everything, but things that are huge in my life are my faith and beauty, and also just holistic healthcare and things of that nature. So those are typically things that I like to talk about when I'm working day to day, and I have a lot of clients that are involved in those kinds of things as well. But then I also have, you know, people that work in different industries that have different perspectives on the world and, you know, different perspectives on life and different things like that. So let me know in the comments like what types of subjects you'd like to hear about or what types of people you'd like to hear from. And so I'd be really interested to know what you guys would be interested to learn about. Yeah, so yeah. Oh my goodness, my back is killing me. It literally hurts so bad. I'm so tired. Okay, I'm gonna go home now. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with a friend if you enjoyed it. Thanks, bye.
Holy hair, let's go, let's leave, let's hit, let's go.